Welcome back to Life to the Max. We all want to believe that we have the giving spirit. But how about this? Someone you work with is in real need of a kidney transplant. And you decide that you are the perfect donor. Liz Collin has that story.
It really makes you take stock of all the blessings, that you've had.
A go-getter since she was a little girl, Jolinda Konzemius grew up with a reality that she knew someday would give her no choice but to slow down.
So I've known that this was my fate since I was about 12 years old.
Diagnosed at an early age with polycystic kidney disease, clusters of cysts kept developing in Jolinda's kidneys, the organ you need to filter your blood. And as the organs take on fluid, they continue to grow, eventually leading to kidney failure. PKD is a genetic disorder that's been in Jolinda's family for generations.
My grandmother had passed away before she finished raising her kids because of this disease, and my mom actually only was able to meet 2 of her 9 grandkids.
What's daily life like for you?
My activities are really limited. I get tired really, really quickly. I'm currently down at work to 2.5 days a week, and even when I get home, I'm pretty much on the couch.
As a busy working mom, Jolinda has spent her career at LifeTouch, an employee-owned photography company based in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. At the age of 43, Jolinda's doctors in the Twin Cities referred her to Mayo Clinic's transplant program in Rochester. Doctors there told her without a new kidney, she'd be on dialysis within months as her kidney function kept falling.
How dire was your diagnosis at that time?
I was at 17%. You need to qualify at 20%. And within a few months, I was down to 13% kidney function.
After testing family and friends without a match, doctors told Jolinda she'd likely be waiting for 5 years on the transplant list to find a kidney that would work. That's when LifeTouch put out the call, an email to its 23,000 employees detailing Jolinda's dire need.
I was unbelievably grateful.
As it turns out, she wouldn't have to look too far for help.
We were sitting downstairs in the cafeteria working on a disruptive strategy for the company, and she happened to mention to me that, just want to let you know in case I don't get this back to you in time or in case I'm not able to finish this, that I'm actually really sick.
A sales manager at LifeTouch for 17 years and a busy mom herself, Dawn Odenthal didn't think twice when she heard Jolinda's story.
And literally from the point that she mentioned it during that meeting to 15 minutes later, I was signed up with Mayo on the kidney list, and we knew already at that moment we were a blood match. We almost felt at that point that it was a go. We hugged, we cried, and we moved forward.
15 minutes.
15 minutes from discovery to my first appointment was booked.
Just days after both women presented at the annual summer meeting that draws thousands of LifeTouch employees, Jolinda and Dawn were in Rochester, ready for the transplant.
Basically, what we needed to do is give her a kidney that works and remove these large kidneys so that their pain and all the other symptoms that are attached to this go away.
Michael Prieto is the surgical director of the kidney and pancreas transplant program at Mayo. He says Jolinda was very lucky to find Dawn. They share a rare blood type. And for Dawn, it too was personal. Her sister died of lupus and became too sick to get a transplant in time.
Being able to do that for somebody was really important. And knowing Jolinda and how awesome she is, just made it that much easier. I feel very lucky in the fact that honestly, God has great foresight and gave us 2 kidneys and we only need 1.
Doctors were finished with Dawn within 20 minutes on the morning of the transplant. As for Jolinda, surgeons decided to do something for the first time in the program's history, do 2 surgeries at once.
So traditionally, we have in the past tried to do the transplant first and then months later take the large kidneys out. But because she had a fair amount of symptoms, I agreed that we were going to do all at once. You look like you never had surgery.
I feel incredible.
Yeah.
We caught up with Jolinda 2 months after her transplant, after she lost more than 20 pounds in kidney weight. Her kidneys had grown so large they were putting pressure on her lungs.
I feel great, Liz. I feel really great. You know, beforehand it was kind of like having the flu for 3 years. I mean, I would wake up nauseous, I had fevers, I was always achy. You know, I probably slept 12 to 15 hours every day.
What's it like to see Jolinda now? How does she look to you?
Well, first of all, it's wonderful to see her because she looks healthy. She's very grateful, and it's great to see how somebody that came in a fairly rough shape, to be honest, now she has a full life in front of her.
As for Dawn, she was back to running and working within 3 weeks of the transplant.
It's absolutely because of Dawn that I am sitting here today with a big smile on my face and, you know, getting better and better every day.
So here's one of those cases where you can see how surgery can change people's lives.
A second chance at life, all thanks to a caring colleague.
One of the doctors finally leaned forward and he put his hand on my knee and he said, you know, if you get a living donor, that's a really good match for you. You know, you'll dance at your grandkid's wedding. And so
I'm gonna dance at her grandkid's wedding.
something like this really changes your life and just shows you how many caring people there are and how much they care.
When we come back, we'll go center stage with some issues that are important to all of us. Stay with us on Life to the Max.
Life to the Max is brought to you by LifeTouch, photography for a lifetime.